Hi guys, how's it going? Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. If you're new here, my name is Astrid. Welcome back to my channel. I'm a Western astrologer, and today we're going to talk about the full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is the most intense sign of the zodiac, to say the least. So, this is actually your annual cosmic time of purging. It's a chance to shed dead skin, let go of dead weight, cut off these dead end connections that are no longer working for you. Of course, Pluto is the modern day ruler of the sign of Scorpio, and Pluto just went retrograde on the 4th of May. So, definitely very potential full moon in Scorpio that we're having right now. And it's also squaring Mars wildly. It's like a white square, not very too tense or too exact. But Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. So, yeah, Mars will help you to cut out and sever those things that are no longer working. So I think this square will come in quite handy and it will act like this extra push for you to like really be able to yeah, purge whatever is necessary right now. Um, so that can manifest in a psychic breakthrough because Scorpio is a very, very psychic sign. It can, yeah, come forward in an emotional meltdown, and that's like going to show you what's no longer working. Maybe you're going to feel finally ready to really block these vampire energies that are yeah, being projected onto you. We just had the Pluto Mars opposition, so both of Scorpio's ruler were in an opposition for the third time. So yeah, we're quite familiar with how Scorpio acts and how the energy really manifests on a global level, but definitely also in our personal lives in the last couple of weeks. But luckily, we're now getting through that. We're gonna have this last cosmic upheaval, and then I think we will go into calmer waters. So the things that can come up right now, they could be connected to November the 1st of 2024. Then we had a new moon in the sign of Scorpio. That was a few days before the US elections. So yeah, some things like being completed in that cycle right now. So think back to November last year, what went on for you during that time. Something in those realms can see solution, resolution, a completion, or some kind of release. And yeah, we're gonna dive deep into what this deep sign has to offer each and every one of us. And later in this video, we're gonna look at each of the 12 signs to see where this is gonna play out in your own natal chart. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you want to book in a personal astrology session, you can find the link for that in the description box below. But first, let's take a look at what Scorpio means. And hi, Kathy. So nice to see you here with us today. Thank you for joining. We're gonna start the presentation. So here you can see, yeah, Scorpio is actually the alchemist of the zodiac. It's a water sign, it's fixed, so it doesn't really like a lot of change. And this full moon is opposite, of course, the sun, as with every full moon, but the sun is conjunct Uranus. And Uranus is change, innovation, shock, surprises, being in awe, being like, oh my God, what's happening? A lot of unpredictability is infused into this full moon. So, yeah, we're gonna have some surprises. So, be prepared for that. Of course, the traditional ruler is Mars, the modern day ruler is Pluto. They're both in opposite signs, still creating a little bit of tug of war. And Scorpio is connected to the eighth house, the house of depth. And of course, the opposite sign is Taurus. So if you're a fixed sign, you're gonna feel this one for sure. So here you can see some keywords that are connected to Scorpio. The most important ones are, of course, transformation and rebirth. Um, Scorpio is a sign most associated with this deep, irreversible transformation. It represents cycles of death and rebirth, and that is not always physical. It can be psychological, emotional, and also spiritual. This energy of Scorpio always destroys what's no longer serving us. So something stronger, more authentic can emerge. And you can look at it as the phoenix that's rising from the ashes. So people or events connected to Scorpio often bring these intense charge or some kind of deep force. And yeah, that force is really like forcing you to confront the parts of yourself that you've buried. So things from the depths are like being illuminated and exposed. So yeah, in Scorpio, nothing is shallow. Everything is like life or death. It is the sign of extremes. So most of all, it's about power, control, and intensity. Scorpio rules power dynamics, control, emotional intensity. It can play out through these obsession kind of thoughts. It can also play out in possessiveness and also the fear of betrayal, because Scorpio and the 8th house, they rule our deepest fears and traumas. And sometimes someone triggers something in us, so it can come up, so we can like go through it and evolve through it as well. So Scorpio really teaches us about the shadow of power. It can be about manipulation, secrets, also dominance, and it's actually teaching you how to reclaim your personal power. And it's like forcing you to dive deep into the psyche, and by that healing these old wounds. So yeah, it's quite the full moon that we're about to have. But we've been through all these intense changes actually since the fall of 2024. This is like gonna be the final straw, and then everything will like finally move forward, and we are gaining momentum into like a whole new change that we're about to undergo. This is like just the last full moon that is like wrapping up this big 6-month cycle that we went through. And now it's like ready to release everything that no longer serves us. And it has to do with all the insights we got since November 2024. So Scorpio is very, very mysterious, very private. It is actually a deep feeler. Scorpio is very, very complex, very, very layered as well. So yeah, there's like no, yeah, Scorpio is just so deep, so intense. And a lot of them, a lot of people who are a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, they appear to be very guarded, very, very secretive. But underneath all of that, there's this profound empathy, enormous loyalty, and also a fierce desire for emotional truth and deep emotional connection. So yeah, Scorpios and this whole energy is very, very intuitively and also psychically gifted. So yeah, it's Scorpio energy is able to sense all the things that are left unsaid, all the things that are hidden, all yeah, very energetically charged. So they really read beneath the surface, and now we're like all going to partake in that energy right now. So yeah, Scorpios are natural psychologists. They are also detectives, and they're very, very profound, deep healers. Another important part of Scorpio is sex, intimacy, and sacred soul bonding. So Scorpio rules sexual intimacy, and it's not like the intimacy just for pleasure. That's more for Libra and Taurus. But it's like the gateway to like real deep soul merging. So yeah, think about energetic fusion, where two people really become one on an emotional, physical, and also karmic level. Scorpio is very, very sacred, very, very tantric. So yeah, it's really exploring the real vulnerability between two people, and it's about having power over someone and using that power in a healthy way, not abusing that power. Yeah, it's like real, true, deep connection. Scorpio is also about things that are taboo. Your shadow side belongs to Scorpio. So it's like Scorpio naturally inherits what society wants to avoid or what society fears as well. So yeah, think about death, trauma, mental health, sexual secrets, the occult, buried truths. Yeah, Scorpios go where others are afraid to go. So yeah, that's why Scorpio is great for doing therapy. It also rules forensics, criminal psychology. When you use Scorpio or Pluto power in a negative way, that is like people who are use, abuse, and who are actually having criminal records as well. So that is like the downside of an unevolved Scorpio. But on the positive, if you are this Phoenix Scorpio, then you have like this mediumship. You also have like the capability to do spiritual shadow work. And Scorpio really teaches us that we must own our darkness and not just focus on the light, like we see in these modern day spiritual bypass that a lot of healers do tend to portray. But Scorpio is like very devoted, very protective. But if you betray Scorpio, yeah, they will want to get revenge. The revenge can be quite fierce. They can really sting. Scorpios don't forget, and they don't easily forgive as well. So do not challenge a Scorpio, because yeah, we need to learn to transmutate betrayal into wisdom. That is also one of Scorpio's lessons. So embrace transformation rather than fear it. Also, if something gets illuminated right now with this full moon, really sit with the discomfort, and really look at the deeper truth beneath it. And also take this energy as like an opportunity or a chance to really detach yourself from toxic patterns and really like reclaim your sovereignty. And really a beautiful time to own your shadow and also fully integrate it after the Mars-Pluto opposition. So we also have this full moon will be at 22 critical Capricorn degree. So this is where it's gonna get a little bit intense on a more mundane level, because 22 is the kill or be killed degree. So I think a very famous figure is gonna pass away, and we're gonna see a funeral of someone very, very publicly known, someone in a very, very high position of power. That is a very big possibility here with the full moon in Scorpio. And Blue Moon Rising says, hi Astrid, my mom passed on the last Scorpio new moon in November. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. What does this full moon mean to me? Well, it really depends on where this full moon is taking place, in which house, which aspects it's making to other personal planets in your chart. I think this is actually a good full moon to connect with your mother. Because Scorpio is actually one of the only signs that is capable of talking to the other side, talking to the deceased people, talking to our ancestors. And it's actually in my rituals at the end of this video where I'm going to go over that this is actually a good time to honor the ancestors, to really get in contact with them, to receive beautiful messages and signs from them as well. So really pay close attention and really ask your mother to send you a sign, because the veil is getting thinner now, and she's more easily, she can more easily tap into the more earthy frequencies, where she can communicate with you better. So it's in the 4th house of the mother. Wow. So really, really about the ancestors for you, definitely about the mother. It's actually giving me the shivers that this is happening for you in the house of the mother. So yeah, if you know a good medium, or if you know a good psychic, and I can definitely help you with that if you send me an email, then yeah, you can have a very beautiful contact with your mother that has passed away. So I'm sending you a lot of courage and strength in these times. So we're gonna look a bit at the chart, and I'm gonna quickly change my screen. Yes, so here we see the full moon in Scorpio chart for this moon, and it's gonna happen on May the 12th. 22 degrees, very powerful and emotionally charged degree. Full moons represent culmination, a sort of peak, an emotional, energetic buildup that began during the new moon in Scorpio on November the 1st. And that moon planted the seed. Now we see the harvest and the reckoning of that. Scorpio is about the hidden, the taboo, and also the psychological underworld. So yes, this lunation is going to bring our secrets, buried traumas, and also repressed desires and attachments. They're going to come up right now so they can be released. So yeah, you can look at this moon as the perfect time to do a very big emotional release. Can be quite healing. Tears can be quite healing. Scorpio is a water sign. Just let it out, let it flow. Can be very, very therapeutic just to cry right now and just let it go. So it's really all these unresolved emotional content or context that is forcing necessary endings in order to regenerate. And the most affected signs of this lunation are anyone with placements from 20 to 24 degrees of the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. You will feel this particularly acutely. And also, Scorpio is very financial. It's about hidden power, things emerging from the depths. So for some of you, it can just be like a very financial full moon as well, especially with the opposition to the Sun and Uranus in the sign of Taurus. But just know that whatever level is gonna come out, the energy, the Scorpio moons are notoriously known for their intensity, and Scorpio can also bring up deep-seated emotions like jealousy, resentment, grief, but also intense passion and also like compulsive desire as well. Scorpio is a sign that rules OCD as well. So yeah, just surrender, let go of control. Yeah, this moon is going to really penetrate the emotional core. The 8th house is connected to shared resources, financial entanglements, also inheritance, taxes, sexual intimacy, also power dynamics. So yeah, shadow work is really paramount during this moon. So take time, extra time for deep introspection, for therapy, journaling, and yeah, be willing to be reborn as well. Can be very, very beautiful. Even though it can be painful, it's a beautiful opportunity to let go of our pain. So the Sabian symbol of this moon is actually also a very beautiful symbol, and it's a bunny metamorphosed into a fairy. So again, very psychic, very mystic as well, very beautiful for this moon. So yeah, it's like earthy innocence blends in with magical transformation. So it's like symbolizing the potential to evolve through imagination, through creativity, and also through your spiritual vision. So a bunny, that's like a creature symbolizing vulnerability, instinct, also fertility, and also feeling a little bit timid. And that bunny undergoes an outerworldly metamorphosis into a fairy, and that is being associated with magic, invisibility, spiritual power, but also enchantment. So yeah, this Sabian symbol really symbolizes a quantum leap in consciousness. And Scorpio's domain is transformation through death and rebirth. So very, very applicable here, this Sabian symbol. So it represents change, but not through external force, but more through internal vision. It's about innocence, going or like elevating into wisdom. It's also physical, instinctual life, merging with spiritual awareness. You can look at it as the ego dissolving into the soul, and also a very big shift from survival mode, the bunny, to creative mastery, the fairy. And also beautiful opportunity to see the divine and the mundane. And this Sabian symbol really, really suggests a mass awakening potential where people finally begin to recognize their capacity to alter reality through perception and your own energy. So yeah, I think it's a very, very interesting Sabian symbol. Yeah, it carries this incredible psychological and emotional weight. And Scorpio already rules transformation and death and rebirth. And this Sabian symbol really adds a very mystical, magical layer to all the psychic themes that are already in play now. So, and it also implies that real change does not come only through struggle or destruction, but also through your own inner enchantment and also your own deep emotional alchemy. So the fairy might represent our higher self, or like our soul essence, trying to emerge from the shell of like this outdated instinct or fear. So this metamorphosis really asks us, like, where are we still living in fear, and how can we rise into inspired truth and believe more in our own capability. Another important factor is that this full moon is conjunct Juno, and asteroid Juno represents marriage and committed partnerships. It also represents contracts, loyalty, faithfulness, and also the kind of partner that we truly want to devote ourselves to. It depends on where it's placed in your own natal chart. So Juno and Scorpio conjunct this full moon really brings these themes of deep loyalty, intense emotional bonding, possessiveness, jealousy, sexual magnetism, all to the surface. And it also will highlight power imbalances in relationships and in your karmic contracts. And I think, you know, is especially about marriage. So a lot of people who are married will be reviewing why they are married. So yeah, it's definitely gonna come up a lot in people who are married on paper with each other, because it's also about contracts. So another interesting factor is that this moon is opposite Uranus. And Uranus in Taurus brings shocks, disruptions, but also breakthrough in the sign of Taurus, which rules agriculture. So we can expect some huge truths coming to the surface, or truths that and secrets that get like revealed in regards to Mother Earth, in regards to our food, in regards to the poison that they put in our food. In regards to maybe we're going to see other protests in regards to farming. We know they want to get rid of the farmers. I think this moon is going to illuminate this yet again. Uranus is also in the sign of Taurus, because Taurus rules our Earth, and Uranus brings this disruptive and stable energy into that area. We can also see more earthquakes, because Uranus tends to trigger the tectonic plates in the sign of Taurus, and Uranus is it's in degrees. It's at 26 right now. It's going towards criticals degrees at the end of Taurus. So we're going to see a lot more of strange weather events whenever Uranus is going to get towards 29 degrees later this year. And it's going to then shift towards Gemini, but it's going to go back into Taurus one last time. I think that will be the time when we will see a lot of destruction through weather events, like we haven't seen already enough of that. So, but Uranus also brings liberation. It brings sudden insights, and yeah, since it's been in Taurus since 2018, it has been revolutionizing money, security, environmental issues, and also your material possessions. And the opposition now to the moon is going to bring these unexpected emotional shocks and revelations, surprises, and also certain insights to all the Taurian teams. And Uranus really seeks to disrupt what is stagnant in order to be able to innovate. So it wants to innovate the financial markets, the banking systems, cryptocurrencies are going to be a theme, and all these things are going to develop unexpected shifts at this time on a global level. So also know that Taurus and Scorpio, it is the money axis, it is the give and take axis. So yeah, I'm just hoping that the tectonic plates and like the volcanoes and all these things are not going to get too chaotic with this energy. So yeah, on a more personal level, it can also just mean emotional earthquakes. Unexpected revelations, definitely in regards to marriage or in regards to hidden things that needs to be looked at, even though it can be a bit uncomfortable. You might feel a bit more emotionally unstable. That doesn't necessarily have to be in a bad way. Think more like truth that erupts. Feelings that get really, really raw, or something long repressed comes up suddenly, and the truth can be very, very stingy, even with Scorpio. Can be breakdowns, can be breakups, but just be mindful and be open to expect the unexpected. With Uranus, it's very, very hard to predict because with Uranus, you never know. But that will especially be highlighted in relationships, finances, and also personal boundaries. So Taurus, yeah, where Uranus is, Taurus wants comfort, wants predictability, it wants security, especially in the material realm. Scorpio, where the moon is, says like, let's burn this down so we can rebuild it even stronger. So it creates this tension around letting go versus clinging to what feels safe. So yeah. And with asteroid Juno, it will definitely be, if you're married, letting go of control versus clinging to what is safe. What do I do? What is best? What is really fulfilling my true soul purpose during this time? And yeah, it can be something people are gonna think about, like, do I stay or do I go? Can I trust this person with my money, my body, and my secrets? And what happens if I stop playing it safe? So yeah, can be shocks in the body. Scorpio and Taurus, they are fixed signs. They don't like change, but Uranus is going to bring it anyway. So yeah, unexpected emotional reactions, but also physical symptoms in the body can occur, and they are actually connected to the nervous system because of this emotional overload. Uranus rules the nervous system, and also the moon rules the gut. So this is something to put more attention towards during this time. We're also going to see a lot of market volatility. Taurus is money. Uranus is like, ups and downs. But we're also going to see technological and environmental events. Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, is in Aquarius. It just went retrograde. Aquarius is everything in regards to tech, to AI, to society, big groups of people. We're going to see some shifts in that as well, for sure. But also because the sun rules leadership and the sun is conjunct Uranus, we're also going to see surprises and revelations in leaderships and in institutions. Definitely that are connected to money. Think about the Fed, think about rules in regards to cryptos. All these things are gonna come up again. And some things that are going to be decided, because Scorpio is power. Like Saturn and Capricorn represent the government, but then you have Scorpio and Pluto, and they are the government behind the government, like the deep state and all the people in real power. So it can manifest a little bit in some heightened social unrest around who's really in power, who's really in control. and in the fact of, do I choose freedom or do I choose security? A lot of people are choosing security, of course, because they have this false narrative they're being pushed, that is being pushed on television. A lot of people are choosing security while the actual power lies in freedom. But yeah, I think a lot of people who are watching this know what I'm talking about. So, what else can I give you? Hello, I'm not gonna pronounce your name because it's too funny, but thank you so much for joining from Cape Town. And Blue Moon Rising says this new moon is trining my 8th house moon at Pisces, which is at 22 degrees. Yeah, it's like a whole new emotional reset, and it's beautifully flowing towards your own moon in the 8th. And oh my God, if you're born with a moon in the 8th house, then you don't even need to go to a psychic or a medium. You have the abilities and the psychic powers to talk to your mom yourself, because a moon in the 8th house, that is, yeah, very, very deep, very, very mystical. And it's in the sign of Pisces, in the sign of spirituality. I also have a moon in Pisces, but it's not in the 8th house. Like, that is so powerful. Wow. So, really focus on stay grounded, work with the Taurus energy. Scorpio is a bit intense, can be overwhelming. Go ground yourself in nature, make some good food. Touch is a very good remedy for this full moon. Really hug those you love. And really channel the emotional chaos into transformation. Scorpio really wants depth, but don't avoid your feelings. Really dig into them right now. And also be mindful and expect your plans to shift during this time. Uranus and the Sun together, you're gonna have to reschedule, or something is gonna pop up out of the blue, and you're gonna need to make some rearrangements. Just be flexible. And also trust the shakeup, because Uranus brings freedom through disruption. And if something breaks apart during this time, then it wasn't stable to begin with. So try to be grateful whenever something breaks down. Maybe something else is, something better is gonna emerge instead. And also know that the lingering Mars-Pluto opposition is still really echoing power struggles. But yeah, that was like immense pressure, immense conflict, and also power plays. The opposition is really about this intense battle of the will that could have been in your own personal relationship, but it definitely manifested on the geopolitical stage as well. And now we're gonna see these disclosures of abuse, of corruption, and also of manipulation, and they're gonna be tied to the government, finance, and also military operations. So the good news is that the worst is over. Now we must do the work of these emotional integrations. So definitely not as bad as the Pluto-Mars opposition that we just went through. Scorpio is just like now gonna wrap things up and purge everything that's no longer necessary in your life. Then another important factor is that this, the ruler of the Scorpio full moon is, of course, Pluto, and Pluto squares Mercury. So, intense news regarding a death of a famous figure. That's the first thing that comes to mind when I look at this chart. But Pluto square Mercury on a more personal level really adds like a sharp, penetrating edge to communication. Mercury governs our mind, speech, and how we process information. And Pluto governs the hidden, the taboo, and the death and the rebirth. So the square suggests that there can be some power struggles through communication, can be intense news that is upon us, can also be potentially getting manipulated by speech, can also be these secrets that are getting revealed. Be careful of manipulative propaganda during this time. On the global stage, it can also manifest into exposing things in the media, can also be about data leaks, can also be about political scandals, and the square really like challenges us to get honest with ourselves and also with others. Also know that the mind can be a weapon under this transit. It can also be key to liberation, so choose wisely. So yeah, I definitely think some news of a very known public figure and a very high position of power that passes away. The 22 degree is the kill or be killed degree in astrology. Uranus is also conjunct Algol, the demon star, and Algol represents losing one's head. That can be literally or figuratively speaking, of course, but it's going to be someone that is very powerful. And this moon squares the moon and the US Sibley chart. So definitely, again, another hard moon for the people of the US. We also know that Putin has a Scorpio rising. Zelensky has an Aquarius sun and a moon in Leo in the fixed signs. And we also know that Israel has a sun at 23 degrees of Aquarius. We also know that Netanyahu has a Mars-Pluto conjunction in Leo, also one of the fixed stars. And we also know that Trump and JD Vance are both Leo rising. So this full moon in Scorpio and the opposition to Uranus and the moon and the sun, this is like all squaring these people. So yeah, that like really stood out to me. So we're gonna see a lot of new things happening with all these people, to be honest. It's difficult to point out just one. The energy is gonna manifest in all of their charts. So it's gonna be interesting to see what unfolds a few weeks after this intense full moon. So Annabella says, hi, great explanation about this intense full moon, Astrid. Thank you so much, Annabella. Prince Charles, well, actually, yeah, it can actually be royalty, because the full moon in Scorpio makes a wide square to Mars, the ruler of Scorpio, and Mars is in Leo, and Leo rules kings and queens, leadership, royalty, but also celebrities. So yeah, it can be King Charles, of course. So yeah, it's possible. I haven't looked at his chart. Maybe I need to do that. Then a little bit more explanations about how to work with this energy of the moon, because it's actually a beautiful opportunity to make good use of it. Scorpio, being a water sign, really favors purification rituals like salt baths, Himalaya salt, Epsom salt. I have a special salt thingy where there are like crystals in it that gets like dissolved in the bath. I like really love that, and really helps me to like reboot my energetic field. Whenever I feel like someone loaded like a ton of shit on my shoulders, I'm like, okay, well, let's take a salt crystal bath, and it really does wonders for me. Also, good time to detox your body through eating good food, cleansing. Taurus is about food. Be mindful of what you put into your mouth during this full moon, and really be sure that it's like helping you to purify and to detox. Also very good energy for sexual healing. Do some sacral chakra rituals. Also want to mention that Scorpio rules the reproductive organs. So protect yourself extra during this time. Don't be too wild, because yeah, STDs and diseases about the reproductive organs are a bigger possibility during this energy. So yeah, protect yourself extra, not only from pregnancy, but also from diseases. And also you can journal and write about your deepest fears. Write about power dynamics that you would like to shift, and also what control means to you. When you wrote down your list, you can then put it in a glass of water and let it dissolve as like a symbolic release in water. So yeah, really put emphasis on cutting energetic cords with people, detox emotionally as well. Very good time for trauma release exercise, also for hypnotherapy, everything that like is occult, everything that is reprogramming the subconscious or helps to release trauma. So yeah, and also release toxic ties to people who are not beneficial on your health and well-being. Sage can also be a good herb to work with, and really break free from these energetic and karmic attachments that are draining your power. And also maybe write down what or who holds power over you and what you can do to navigate that better. A lot of, yeah, I see other people talking about black candles, but I don't really agree. And oh my God, Blue Moon Rising says, sorry for the interruption about rituals, but King Charles, 22 degrees Scorpio Sun Leo Rising, ha, Blue Moon Rising. I think that is absolutely wild. Thank you so much for like bringing this on, because it is that this is valuable information. It could have, yeah, it could be King Charles for sure. Thank you so much for letting know. That is like I am actually a bit baffled. 22 degrees Scorpio Sun and Leo Rising. Yeah, it's not gonna be a good moon for him. No, not at all. So then, so you can do this cord cutting ritual. You could also do full moon detox in your bed, and also, yeah, shadow work through journaling. Yeah, sacred sexuality ritual. Really feel your body, dance to this intense music. Let your body really express these repressed emotions. And also paint or draw what transformation look like to you. You can also engage in really heart-connected intimacy that really focuses on energetic merging and also soul-level bonding. And make time to really honor the ancestors and make time to connect to your spirit guides. Because yeah, Scorpio is the gatekeeper to the underworld and also our ancestral memory. So really use this full moon to connect with your spirit guides, with loved ones that passed away, and to really dive deep into your lineage. So you can burn a white candle, gaze into it. You can also do some offerings. Like I like to offer a piece of chocolate to the gods whenever something works out in my favor, because yeah, I'm just so in love with chocolate. So make sure you sacrifice or make an offering that means a lot to you. You can also really connect through looking or gazing at photos of your ancestors, or yeah, wear their clothes to fully emerge in the energy as well. And you can just ask them for a sign, and I'm sure they will give it to you quite soon with this full moon. So I invite wisdom and healing for those who came before me. I honor their stories and I release any pain I no longer need to carry for you. That is something that you can say out loud. Also offer gratitude, do prayer right now, light candles, and for protection against energy vampires, you can use black tourmaline, garnet, black, or no, not black, just obsidian as well. These all help you to protect, and also help you to release fear. So, yeah, I'm gonna start the readings for the 12 signs. If you don't know how to, yeah, know your rising sign, you can go to astroseek.com, type in your birth chart, your birth information. You will see the black first line is your rising sign. So this chart is a Capricorn rising with a moon in Cancer and a sun in Scorpio. So that's how you know which signs to listen to. And we're gonna start with Aries, sun, moon, or rising. And I see that I'm already 45 minutes into this video. so I'm going to try to keep it short. But for my Aries, sun, moon, or rising, yeah, of course, you're going to have a full moon in the sign of Scorpio in your 8th house of shared resources, intimacy, psychological transformation, and emotional depth. Can be a very financial full moon for you, my dear Aries, and whatever you started on November the 1st of 2024 can now see a completion, a release, or yeah, something that is being let go of or gets completed. So yeah, very deeply personal full moon, emotionally intense. The 8th house are the invisible ties that binds us to others. It can be through sex, shared finances, trust, emotional entanglement. The sun is in Taurus in your 2nd house of money. The full moon is reflecting its light back onto the sun. Very clear theme of financial and energetic exchange between people. What is yours, what is mine, what is shared, and where there are imbalances or dependency issues that need to be corrected. It's like a very, very big moment, can be around debt, around taxes, around investments, inheritances. Scorpio is the most intense sign, so it can also be about your partner's money. And it's going to heal this, it's going to trigger this emotional healing. You can release yourself from an old attachment. You can release yourself from trauma, and you can also release a very big pattern of control. The 8th house is a very psychic house. Something that is long buried can come to the surface to be felt, processed, and released. The rulers of the full moon are, of course, Mars and Pluto, playing a very big transformative role in your chart, because you are, of course, an Aries ruled by Mars. Mars is your chart ruler, and it's currently in Leo. In the 5th house of love, pleasure, and children, Pluto and Aquarius is in your 11th house of friends, community, long-term goals. So the recent Mars-Pluto position was a very intense happening for you. I can imagine forcing you to confront your own personal desires and your creative identity. May have been like at odds with group expectations, can be about power struggles or power structures in your social network. The aftermath of the conflict is still present. It's going to see this final release, final culmination now with the full moon. And it's really asking you to own your truth, even if it means walking away from the group dynamics that no longer serve you or that want to repress your self-expression. Pluto demands to rethink where you give your power away. And also very crucial is the Mercury-Pluto square. Pluto is the ruler of this full moon and is square Mercury, the planet of the mind and communication. It really is activating your 2nd house of personal possessions, how you value yourself, your income as well. There may be tense conversations around money, around your value, around group dynamics, and there can even be betrayal among friends or allies that you didn't see coming. Or maybe the betrayal happened during the Pluto-Mars opposition, and now you see like the final release of that. So there can be some confrontational dialogue for sure. It can also be uncovering these hidden agendas in your social life or in your networks. The square is mentally and emotionally demanding, but it's also liberating if you are willing to face the truth. So perhaps you're realizing that certain values or goals that you once shared with others no longer align with who you're becoming. You might feel pushed to advocate for yourself more, advocate or assert your word more, and cut the ties with disempowering influences in your 11th house of friendships as well. Neptune is also transiting your sign. It's activating your 1st house, and it's really like you're undergoing a softening of the ego and also a deepening of your connection to the spiritual and also your own intuitive truth. You might feel more physically open, more receptive, more emotional sensitive. Your identity is dissolving, and it is vital now to trust your inner voice. even if it like contradicts the expectations of others, which it will probably do. So yeah. The eighth house, very transformational energy, can be a big emotional breakthrough, and the message is very, very clear. Release what is rotting in the dark so you can reclaim your light. So let me know how it's going for you, my dear fellow Aries, and I wish you the best of luck. We have Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Of course, Taurus, you are the opposite sign of Scorpio. So very big polarity for you right now. The Sun and Uranus and also Mercury are in your sign. And it's the full moon is happening into your seventh house of relationships, partnerships, and also one-on-one connections. So yeah, very personal and emotionally charged lunation. Scorpio goes very, very deep. Especially if you're a Taurus who has placements or signs or planets between 20 and 24 degrees of Taurus, then it will be especially palpable for you. The moon is opposing Uranus in your first house and the sun in your first house. So expect revelations in regards to partnerships, also tensions, breakthroughs in your closest bonds. Can be romantic, can be business, can be therapeutic. This is like a big turning point in relationships, really prompting a decision to either deepen your commitment or to separate your ways. And that can come up quite unexpectedly with Uranus in your sign. And the seventh house is not only your marriage partner, it is also your clients, collaborators, can be people of counsel, and also even legal contracts. So it's gonna play a huge key role in conversations, in negotiations, in legal contracts, and with Uranus in your sign, it can be very unexpected developments, shifts in how you relate to others might suddenly shift. And also, you're being asked to redefine how you balance your identity with your relationship needs. And any power imbalances will become impossible to ignore any longer. The rulers of this full moon are, of course, Mars and Pluto, and they are involved in your fourth house of home, family, and emotional roots. And Pluto in Aquarius is in your 10th house of career, public reputation, and also authority figures in general, or like the father figure, or people who you look up to, people who you view as a father figure. So it suggests a very complex interplay between your private emotional world, the fourth house, the bottom of the chart, and your public responsibilities and ambitions. So work-life balance is a huge key theme here. It can also be about control dynamics with authority, and also long-term family decisions that are like going to reach a breaking point. And Mercury is also square Pluto. Mercury is in your first house. You have like this setup for intense conversations and also confrontations, especially about your public image or about your career direction. It can also be an important discussion or communication with one of your bosses or with some higher institution that you need help from. Can be a little bit more difficult around these times. Be very cautious of power struggles, be cautious of verbal manipulation, and there can be some drama at the workplace. Maybe you're going to need to defend yourself. So really choose your words wisely. They will carry a lot of weight and a lot of consequences around this time, but definitely a very beautiful time to release and purge partnerships that are no longer aligned with your soul growth. Despite everything that's going on, that's a little bit more difficult because it's all happening in angular houses. So Taurus are really like affected by this full moon. Of course, it's in your opposite sign, and with Uranus and the sun in your first house, it can be quite shocking. Really take time to calm the nervous system, but there's like a silver lining because Venus and Aries in your 12th house is forming this harmonious trine towards Mars and Leo, and it's going to help you move forward gracefully if you trust your instincts and also if you speak honestly. If you do that, there are going to be opportunities for a huge beneficial emotional release. It can also mean healing behind the scenes. So yeah, this aspect is going to help you to like smooth over all these other relational friction that can be going on for you. But yeah, you need to align your heart and your will. You need to speak maybe uncomfortable truths, but it will push you and evolve you and push you towards like a better, in a better direction. So yeah, use clarity, use integrity in your dealings with other people. And whether you're strengthening a bond or parting ways, this moment here really is here to empower you to choose partnerships that really reflect your growth and also your future vision. So good luck, my dear Taurus. Then we have Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. The full moon in Scorpio is landing in your sixth house, the area that governs your work, job, daily habits, physical health and well-being, your service, your co-workers, and also your pets. So very deeply revealing lunation. It's going to illuminate where your current habits are supporting or sabotaging your own well-being. And over the last 6 months, particularly since the Scorpio new moon on November the 1st, you've likely been experimenting with changes in your diet, in your job routine, in your time management, in your fitness goal, in your day-to-day activities. And now you can see the results. So now it's becoming clear if you're like honoring your body's limits, are your work habits sustainable, and this lunation may mark a turning point in your health. So maybe some of you can feel a little bit burned out. Some of you want to purge the workload load, and also you need to manage the stress levels because it's in the sixth house. So yeah, especially if you've been like overextending yourself, you need to calm down. The sixth house is associated with purification, with release, making this a very potent time to let go of toxic day-to-day habits. Can also be about overworking, can be about perfectionism, can also be about the food that you're putting in your mouth, if that contributes to your health and well-being. So on another level, maybe you need to resolve a conflict with a coworker. Some of you might end a job, and others are going to reprioritize your schedule to better protect your physical and mental energy. The rulers of this full moon are Mars and Pluto. They're still a bit in this intense oppositional energy, but it's been going on for weeks. The worst is over. So Mars and Leo is moving in your third house, which rules communication, learning, travel, also your local environment, where you go to the gas station, to the store, to the mall. And Pluto and Aqua is retrograde in your ninth house of beliefs, higher education, publishing, and also your global perspective and your futuristic perspective, and the house of joy as well. So yeah, you've probably recently experienced pressure or conflict between your day-to-day thinking and your commitments to your broader vision and your truth. Maybe you're trying to balance a stressful job with other obligations, or maybe you're struggling with a philosophical shift that no longer aligns with your daily life. So this full moon really brings the tension to a head and forces you towards a decision. So what beliefs and what goals are you ready to release in order to create a healthier, more productive routine? Maybe it's time to restructure your time and also your beliefs or your mindset. And if you do that, you can become quite unstoppable, because Scorpio is this immense willpower as well. So Mercury is your ruling planet, and it's squaring the ruler of this full moon. So, and it's in your 12th house of spirituality. So it's also suggesting that you might feel a bit more introspective. You might feel a little bit more drained. Maybe you need to retreat a bit. Maybe you want to reflect more than you're used to. Take time to do that, because the Mercury-Pluto square between the 12th and the 9th house is going to add this mental intensity. Can also possibly be hidden stress, can be obsessive thinking. Maybe you're like running into a wall. Maybe you don't see the solution just yet. It can also be secret worries. Mercury in the 12th can signal burnout, the need to rest. It can also be about revelations in your dreams, in your sleep. And with the moon in the 6th, yeah, it's like a lot of stress, a lot of need to retreat. So really make time for that, and connect by water. It can also be a fight, a crisis of faith can emerge as well. Maybe a private emotional reckoning that really motivates you to break through limiting narratives as well. But on the positive side, or on the positive note, it's also an excellent time for spiritual detox, intuitive healing, and also purging guilt or stress that really lingers in your subconscious. The moon in Scorpio is acting as a flashlight in your daily life, really revealing where your internal beliefs are silently driving burnout, or driving you more towards imbalance. So use this energy to restructure your habits, implement gentler boundaries, reclaim time for mental clarity and physical healing. It's just not about getting things done. It's about learning how to do them without self-sabotaging you in the process, or heading towards burnout. So let me know what's going on for you, my dear Geminis, and I wish you the best of luck. We have Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're going to have the full moon in Scorpio in your 5th house of creativity, joy, passion, romance, personal expression, and children. So very, very supportive for you. It's in a trine, water sign. It's trining your sign. That's what I meant. A fellow water sign in the 5th house of joy, very passionate, very romantic, very fertile. Use protection if you don't want to get pregnant, but yes, very good moon for you, my dear Cancer. So especially if you have placements between 20 and 24 degrees of Cancer, then you receive a full hit of joy by this one. And you are a moon ruled sign. You are Cancer ruled by the moon. So you tend to feel these lunar events way more deeply than others. So yeah, this full moon is in a house that really encourages play, joy, and authenticity. So reignite your inner psychic as well, your inner fire, your inner psychic, reignite things that makes you passionate. And you can also see a culmination or some kind of release or completion about something that you've started on the new moon in Scorpio, which was on November the 1st, 2024. And maybe since that time, you have been exploring new creative passions, maybe beginning a new romantic relationship, or launching a personal project. Very good time to do that now. If you started something in November, now you can see a culmination, or a project that comes to fruition, or maybe some love story that started in November now gets intensified, or maybe some of you see that it's not a perfect fit and you decide to cut it off. It can also be about bringing joy towards your inner child. So can be news of pregnancy, maybe someone in your, if it's not you, it can be someone in your group of friends as well. But yeah, growth, expansion, new life, new things that are getting born are all intensified right now. So we then have the rulers of this full moon, and that's Mars and Pluto, and they're still a bit in their tense opposition. It's like the aftermath right now, but things are getting better. We are through the worst. But Mars in Leo is in your 2nd house of income, self-worth, and your personal values, and is clashing a bit with Pluto in your 8th house of shared resources. So, and 8th house is also intimacy and also transformation. So it can be that there are going to be some tensions around financial security. It can be about trust issues, can be about emotional vulnerability as well. Maybe you're going to ask yourself, what is my true worth? Am I giving too much? Am I receiving enough in return? And it's also good for channeling your energy into what truly brings you joy and meaning, and it really boosts your self-worth. The creative fifth house combined with this financial emotional axis, the second and eighth house, and a full moon in Scorpio in the sign of emotional depth and big money really suggests that a passion project could really involve into something that you can monetize, or something that is gonna put you in a position to reclaim your joy. And it's gonna maybe require some emotional risk. And yeah, for those who are dating, it can also be an intense time of emotional experiences. It can also be an intense emotional experience involving a child. The fifth house also rules children. And maybe you're going to embrace a new level of depth, a new level of commitment with a partner as well. Mercury in Taurus is in your 11th house of friendships. It squares Pluto, the ruler of this new full moon. So yeah, it's in the house of friendships, networks, long-term goals, and it's making a square to Pluto in the 8th. So yeah, it can be difficult but necessary conversations, and it can be with friends about some traumatic experience, about how you may be able to channel messages from the deceased. Can be about shared resources with friends, can be about deep emotional attachments. Maybe some friends are taking too much of you, and maybe you need to cut some ties with them. It is possible. So yeah, some conversation with a friend or in a community that you belong to might trigger some feelings of control, secrecy, loyalty, and really watch for manipulative language. It can also be about unspoken tensions or power games with your friends, especially like in group settings. So but it's also a beautiful opportunity to rewrite the story around what you share with others and what you keep for yourself. Something can shift in that. So yeah, this full moon wants you to remind you that you're really allowed to feel joy, that you're allowed to express your passions and also dream beyond your current limitations. So actually a very, very positive full moon for you, my dear Cancer. So let me know what's going on for you. We have Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, Leos? You have this full moon in Scorpio in your 4th house of home, family, emotional roots, property, your private emotional life. It's at the bottom of the chart and a very sensitive spot for you guys. So yeah, a very emotional, significant lunation for you because it's in the foundation of the chart. It's going to bring this huge culmination, completion, or clarity regarding personal matters that have been brewing since the Scorpio new moon on November the 1st, 2024. Maybe you had to navigate some family drama. Maybe you wanted to move. Maybe it's about emotional healing. It can also be about ancestral matters for sure. And yeah, this moon is going to bring breakthroughs and like final things for you. The 4th house is about our sense of security and also our belonging in the world, but definitely in regards to our family. Can also be about domestic issues that can get quite intense and see a final culmination. It can also be about your relationship with parents. With the moon in Scorpio, emotions run very, very deep, especially in the 4th house. Old wounds could be reopened for the sake of healing. And Scorpio is a fixed sign, you're a fixed sign, so it's in a square aspect towards your sun, moon, or rising. So yeah, this energy is going to challenge your ego for sure. But it's also going to give you the opportunity to resolve or to rebuild something stronger and more emotionally authentic. Yeah, the sun In Taurus, the sun is, of course, your chart ruler because you're a Leo. And the sun is in Taurus and it's transiting in your 10th house of career, public life, and also authority figures, and the house of the father. So, yeah, this lunation is really like home versus career polarity. A big push and pull between your private emotional needs and also your public duties. And the sun is gonna come into conjunction with Uranus a few days after this lunation. So there can be sudden changes in career, in your status, in your reputation, and that can like directly impact your home life. Some of you are gonna receive a promotion, others are gonna quit their job. And yeah, big shifts in career can happen in the next few weeks. And Mars is in Leo in your sign, in your first house, is squaring this full moon. So there's like a heightened internal tension, and possibly this can make you a little bit frustrated, a little bit more reactive. You can also feel a bit more torn between your desires and your responsibilities to others. So yeah, this square really adds fire to emotional intensity, and really wants to yeah, change you or make you go forward in your personal goals, but you're needing to like tend to all these emotional or family matters first. And yeah, some are gonna question themselves like, where do I belong? Can I prioritize myself without abandoning those I care about? And then adding to the complexity, Mercury is in Taurus as well in your 10th house of career, and it's forming a tense square to Pluto and Aqua in your 7th house. So yeah, this suggests possible, intense, and confrontational conversations involving partnerships, whether business, romantic, or with clients. Maybe some of you are going to need to reevaluate a partnership, some business arrangement, or some public contract. The Pluto Mercury square also warns against power dynamics, control issues, and also hidden agendas coming to light. Can be in regards to family members, parents, that affect you in a very deep emotional way, but it's a release. So it can be quite therapeutic and healing as well, depending on what your personal planets are doing in your natal chart, of course. But a boss, a partner, or an authority figure could challenge your decisions a bit, or you might need to assert your truth in the face of pressure from them. So yeah, it's really helping you to establish greater security and purpose. So let the old structure fall away if it's no longer safe, because something more resilient is ready to take its place. So let me know how it's going for you, my dear Leos, and with Mars currently in your sign. I think you've been feeling better with this energy boost, with Mars in the sign of Leo. And Laura is just here right on time. Yeah, this is divine timing, Laura. And I'm happy it resonates with you. And Laura says, yikes, this is my life story. Yes, I know as Leo, you attract more attention than you normally want. And Leo possesses this very natural authenticity, and people don't really like it. I am a fire sign. I love your authenticity, Leos, but some people can be a bit intimidated by that, and then they're like giving you a hard time because you naturally shine as a king or queen. So I'm wishing you the best of luck, my dear Leo. We have Virgo's sun, moon, or rising. You're gonna have the full moon in Scorpio in your 3rd house of communication, also local travel, your immediate local environment, short trips, going to the gas station, to the mall, to the supermarket. It's also the house of siblings, signing contracts, and also learning and mental processing. And yeah, With the Scorpio full moon here, it's becoming a portal for speaking your emotional honesty. Can be very intense, impactful conversations, and it can also be a revelation of truth, and it's gonna be spoken to you, or you're gonna speak it yourself. And you're likely going to find yourself in a situation where something important needs to be said. So it can feel like a very big emotional release, and you need to release it for your throat chakra. So, yeah, if you've been holding back, it's gonna come out now. So, yeah, the full moon in Scorpio is also forming in sixth house to the south node in Virgo. So there's an opportunity for a very powerful emotional release, for clearing out this mental clutter, and also letting go of these outdated ways of thinking. So if you've been like, yeah, been struggling a bit with confusion, or there has been miscommunication, this moon is going to help you to really cut through the noise and to speak out your truth in a very clear way. And Scorpio is really going to add depth. So it's not this surface level talk. It might be time for difficult but necessary things to be said. So it would be a very wise idea to write something honest, especially for you, my dear fellow Virgo risings. Really journal during this time. Just like get it out, write it down so it can leave the mind. It's the third house of mind and writing and speaking. So journaling for you is the best tip I can give you guys. So yeah, maybe it can be about finalizing documents, or a document or a contract reaches a culmination. Maybe some decisions that have been pending since the Scorpio new moon on November the 1st of 2024 are now finalized. There can also be emotional breakthrough involving your siblings or your neighbors. And this lunation is ruled by Mars and Pluto. And the effects of their opposition are still a little bit in play. We are going through the aftermath, but Pluto, Mars is in Leo, and it's moving through your 12th house of subconscious, of retreat, of rest, of sleep. Like, oh my God, my dreams have been wild lately. I woke up, and when I wake up, I'm like, oh my God, it's like I've been working out all night, and now I need to like go start my day, do all these things. And I feel like I've been like running and shooting and like, yeah, it's like very, very active for me right now. So I try to go to bed a bit earlier, so I have enough time to do all the physical activities in my sleep. So let me know how your dreams are doing. And yeah, so Mars in Leo has been moving through the 12th house, and Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius in your 6th house of work, health, and routines. So this is the axis that brings forward the tension between your inner healing process and also your outer obligations. Like you want to retreat, dream, rest, but you need to like ground yourself in the practical daily world, and maybe it's like a bit of tug of war still. I still feel it a little bit. I feel like I want to dream more, and all the practical things are just like dissolving. It's like I forget how late I need to be there. I arrive late. I'm like, oh my God, all these little details. I don't want to be bothered by them right now. So normally as a Virgo rising, I'm always on time. I am always 10 minutes early. Now I'm like, oh shit, I'm just leaving too late. What is happening? So I think it's this energy. And right now with the full moon in Scorpio, really like in the area of the mind, I'm like, a lot of things to think about. So yeah, if you've been feeling a little bit burned out, maybe you feel a little bit fatigued, or even spiritually exhausted, now is like a very good time to have a reset in that, because the full moon in the third house really invites you to express what's been buried. Good time to release your resentment in a healthy way, share emotional truths, or speak up for your mental well-being. Saturn and North Node in Pisces in your 7th house are forming a beautiful trine to this full moon. So powerful support from others can come forth to help you deal with this mental overload. That can be a partner, a therapist, a coach, an advisor, and they're going to help you navigate the emotional complexity through this shared dialogue, empathy, and mutual respect. So go visit your therapist or your someone who helps you out. Mercury is very influential right now. Mercury is your chart ruler. It is in Taurus, in your 9th house of beliefs, 9th house of publishing, long distance travel, also legal matters, forming a challenging square to Pluto in your 6th house. So yeah, it really suggests that your ideas, your ethics, and also your educational pursuits, if you're still in high school or university or something like that, they are clashing with pressures at work or issues related to your physical health. Some of you are trying to like finish something or publish something or wanting to make travel plans, but it's like your job or your wellness or your health might be getting a little bit in the way. The square brings up power struggles in professional or institutional settings. And also maybe you need to advocate your needs, or maybe you're going to need a consult with HR, or maybe a consult with a legal person to help you out with something. But you also might find yourself re-evaluating how your beliefs, 9th house, affect your health, 6th house. So really good time to clear your mind, speak from the heart with the Scorpio intensity and not just from the head. Yeah, with Scorpio and Saturn's wisdom really backing you up, your words carry a lot of weight right now. So really use them to build bridges and not build walls. Really allow space for emotional vulnerability and also intellectual depth to coexist in your conversations. But definitely conversations are going to be quite revealing. Maybe someone is going to tell you a secret that is possible, or maybe you want to share a secret with someone else. So I wish you the best of luck, my dear Virgo. And Kelly says, I will do all those things. Thanks. Thank you so much, Kelly, fellow Virgo rising. And Margot says, hello, Astrid. Thank you for another reading. Margot from Cape Town. But, oh, you're in Nice for the summer. Oh, that is nice that you're in Nice. Leo, Sun, and Rising with Cancer Moon. Love your readings. Thank you so much, Margot. And enjoy the summer in France. And Kelly says, since November, I've been attacked by a pit bull. Boyfriend broke it off with me, injured my wrist terribly, same arm as dog attack. Oh my God. And my father appeared in my life after over 40 years. Oh my God, Kelly, that is so intense. Like, let me know your sun, moon, and rising sign so I gain more insight about what's going on. But that is like a lot to deal with. I wish you the best, and I hope things will calm down a little bit for you. Wow. So yeah, Lakeside Laura says, holy moly, sending you lots of positive energy and prayers. Yes, wow. Oh my God, Laura, I had a dog attack me, and my dog like 7 years ago broke arm, sprained wrist, bit me, hang in there. Oh my God, like definitely something for you guys must have been happening into the 6th house, because the 6th house is the house of Virgo traditionally, but the 6th house rules pets. So probably there was some very, very harsh transit happening in the 6th house, or affecting your 6th house Lord ruler. So wow, that is a lot. Aries Sun, Virgo Moon, Leo Rising. Yeah, if I would know the exact time, I'm pretty sure something happened in your 6th house, or on your moon, because you're Virgo, and Virgo is the sign of pets as well. So I think maybe some difficult transit towards your moon can be a possibility as well. I'm wishing you the best of luck, and no more dog attacks, please. We have Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You are going to have the full moon in Scorpio, illuminating your second house of personal finances, self-worth, and also material possessions. So, yeah, very financial full moon for you, my dear Libras. It can be about a payout, can be about a major purchase, but also about a financial decision. And all these things can shift something in your self-esteem. The second house is how you earn, spend, and also how you value your resources and also yourself. And with the full moon in Scorpio, it could be about a deeply rooted emotional or psychological pattern that is tied to money, trust, and also security. And Scorpio energy often involves like merging or transformation. So you might be revisiting questions like, how do I define my value, and what am I really worth? And is my income aligned with my emotional and energetic investments? For you, energetic investments into yourself for gaining self-worth is of uttermost importance for you, my dear Libra. Scorpio is also related to inheritance, debt, energetic exchange. And this moon can really highlight where you've been like carrying someone else's burden, or where you're like reclaiming power by detaching from financially draining dynamics. And it can also bring a closure to financial matters that were seeded around the Scorpio new moon in November 2024. Can be a contract, an investment, or about a new stream of income. The full moon is, of course, ruled by Mars and Pluto. They are still in an opposition. We are dealing with the aftermath. It has been recently brought up tensions between your desire for joy and also your personal expression in the fifth house. And then Mars and Leo in your 11th house is about group obligations and also social pressure. So you might have felt a little bit torn between what you want for yourself, creatively, romantically, or in regards to children, versus the expectations or opinions of your social circles or your friend groups. And now the opposition is fading. Now you gain clarity. So now it's time to really create from the heart and not from social obligation. And the full moon in the second really reflects a desire to invest in what brings you real, lasting value, whether financial, emotional, creative. The sun is also in your 8th house of shared resources, and it's opposing this moon, of course, and it's conjunct Uranus. So creating a big polarity between what you have versus what is shared. And you might be renegotiating financial partnerships. You might be resolving debts in marriage, or you can also receive an energetic or literal compensation for past investments. Mercury is also squared Pluto. Mercury is in Taurus in your 8th house. Pluto is in your 5th. So yeah, the square is gonna stir deep conversations or intense mental fixations about this shared money, about intimacy, about trust issues in romantic connections. And you might need to have a difficult but empowering conversation about entanglements. And it's also about these joint ventures and also power imbalances in love or in how you parent together as a couple. It can also be a possibility. But yeah, this full moon is a call to redefine what security means to you, and also to let go of disempowering attachments and to really own your own value on a financial, emotional, and spiritual way. So let me know what's going on for you, my dear Libra, and I'm wishing you the best of luck. We have Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And Lakeside Laura says, whoa, spot on. My husband is Libra Rising. Thank you so much, Laura, for sharing. I'm very, very curious to hear from the Scorpios how you guys are doing right now. This is your full moon in your sign, really marking a very deeply personal and emotional transformative rebirth for you guys. So especially if you have planets between 20 and 24 degrees of Scorpio, this lunation will be especially potent. So first house is identity, physical body, personal direction, also emotional independence. And with the full moon here, it's time to like shed your old skin, reclaim your power, assert your needs. You can also experience a very deep realization about who you are versus who you've been performing as. Because it's in your sign, it's like a whole new big rebirth. The first house is also about appearance, about vitality. So it could also be emphasizing like a personal glow up. It can be an identity shift and also a new chapter of self-expression. Scorpio, for you, definitely something will come up if you are in a marriage. Something is going to be revealed, and maybe it's not going to be what you want to see. But the full moon is conjunct Juno, the asteroid of partnerships and marriage, devotion, loyalty, and the sun is conjunct Uranus in your 7th house, the polarity in Taurus. So it's really going to highlight these relationship dynamics. It's going to be about commitments and also your emotional response to how others perceive you and how they support you. So this full moon is going to bring up a question like, am I being true to myself in my partnerships? Or is my identity supported? Or is it suppressed in relationship? And some of Scorpios are definitely going to break off some things very out of the blue. The ruler of this full moon is Mars in Leo, and also Pluto, and it's retrograde in Aquarius. They have been in this tense opposition for quite some time. You, Scorpio, definitely felt that. So very powerful dynamic that might have recently stirred up a lot of pressure and also transformation at work, and also in your family structure, or in your family, or in your home where you live with people that you live with. And there's there needed to be like this new balance between your private and your public roles. Some of you might have experienced a push to level up professionally, and while you needed to do that, maybe you had to manage some emotional upheaval at home at the same time, which could have been a lot to deal with, to be honest. So all these themes are still lingering now during the full moon, but your attention now is going to shift to how you navigate change while holding on to your emotional truth. Also, we see the ruler of this full moon, Pluto, in square to Mercury. Mercury is also in your 7th house of partnerships. Pluto is in your 4th of family. So important, but possibly, an important but difficult conversation with a spouse, business partner, or advisor. It's going to be around topics of finance. It can be about where you live, so home decisions, and also about long-term planning. Can be a little bit power struggles oriented, can be about control dynamics, and also communication breakdowns are definitely possible for you, my dear Scorpios. So speak your truth, but remain emotionally grounded. Don't get out the stinger. It is not going to help you. And despite the intensity, the cosmos really offers support for you guys. There are trines from Saturn to this full moon, and also to the North Node in the 5th. And yeah, maybe there are going to be some new romantic connections. There can be new creative projects, and also children especially children might help you to reconnect to your joy and your purpose, and also gives you the potential for this final emotional clarity in matters of love, fertility, and also artistic passion. So you are going to receive deep emotional insights into what intimacy, loyalty, and emotional safety truly means to you. especially with Jupiter in the 8th house, forming a quincunx to the moon. Yeah, there's a sense that you're ready to go deeper, but only with people who meet you in your emotional truth. And that can be a lot for other people to handle, to say the least. But it's about reclaiming your authenticity and also choosing radical emotional honesty over compromise. And I know, Scorpio, you're not easy to compromise. But yeah, let go of the version of yourself that you've outgrown since November 2024. This is your huge rebirth moment. And while it may feel like you're in suspension, clarity is coming. Just let the dust settle a little bit, and also don't rush to transformation. Take it slow, trust your instincts. You're not breaking down. Remember that you are breaking through with Uranus conjunct the moon opposite your sign. So let me know what's going on for you, my dear Scorpios. Really embrace this intense moment, and I wish you the best of luck. We have Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You are going to have the full moon in Scorpio, illuminating your 12th house. So very, very magical, mystical, deep, occult. The 12th house is the realm of the subconscious, of dreams, of solitude. Especially hidden fears are going to be extremely illuminated for you, my dear Sagittarius. And it's gonna push you towards spiritual healing, and also it's gonna be a big karmic release for you guys. So 12th is a very, very highly private, introspective area of the chart. It encourages you to slow down, to rest, to retreat inward. If life has felt a little bit mentally or emotionally overwhelming, it is like your cosmic signal to pause, reflect, and also prioritize your own inner well-being. It is your mental health in the 12th as well. So yeah, and with Scorpio's influence, it's not light introspection, it is deep shadow work. It's emotional purging. It is uncovering hidden psychological blocks. Very, very beautiful time to do trauma release exercise, to do hypnotherapy, all these spiritual reprogramming the subconscious are so healing right now. I cannot like put enough emphasis on that. It is like your cosmic time to dive into all these aspects. Just go to the store, buy a book of Joe Dispenza, really immerse yourself in all these healing practices, and just know that whatever you release subconsciously is going to really benefit your conscious mind and will create a whole new environment for you. So yeah, emotional detoxing, spiritual practicing, or simply, it can be like so simple. It can also be just about catching up on lost sleep. And I know you cannot catch up on lost sleep. When you lose it, it's gone. But like take enough time to rest. The full moon is forming a quincunx to Jupiter in your 7th. There's a subtle tension between your need for rest and also the role you need to play in relationships. Maybe be a bit egotistical and put yourself first with the moon in the 12th, because you're gonna need space to really process emotions or clear like unspoken baggage with a partner as well. Yeah, just take time to reflect. It's gonna be immensely important for you right now. We then also have the rulers of this full moon, which are, of course, Mars in Leo and Pluto in Aquarius. They are still in their opposition between your 9th and your 3rd house, showing that the recent weeks may have brought some tension, even months, around travel, education, belief system, and also communication dynamics. You have been challenged to go step out outside your mental comfort zone and also break free from mental patterns in learning and communicating and studying, patterns with neighbors, with siblings as well. but now the focus is in the 12th. So it's time to really integrate right now what you've learned in the past few weeks by this Mars-Pluto opposition. So Mercury is in Taurus. It is transiting in your 6th house of work, health, and daily routines. And it is forming a square to Pluto in your 3rd house. So it's going to stir up, or it can stir up a little bit more anxiety. It can also stir up like information overload. Can be about mental burnout as well. So be mindful about that. And it's going to be related to work stress, can be by health concerns, or also simply miscommunication that is like annoying you. So if your schedule has been a little bit chaotic, the full moon is going to bring a need to step back, reset the nervous system, and reestablish a sustainable daily rhythm in your life. You're going to become aware of the subconscious patterns that are affecting your health and also your workflow. So it's going to give you the insight needed to let go of perfectionism and also create healthier boundaries in regards to work. Positive side is that the full moon is forming a supportive trine to Saturn and North Node in Pisces. They're both in your 4th house of home. Definitely can be about a move that is coming for you, something changing that is destined in regards of the family. It can also suggest that inner peace is found through simplifying your home and really establishing these emotional boundaries. And it can also be a good time to deepen your spiritual roots and look at the ancestral lineage as well. So yeah. Release hidden fears, release scarcity mindsets, release self-sabotaging habits with all this energy in the 12th. And that's going to make a lot of space for mental clarity and also for new spiritual alignment. Can be about a very big breakthrough. So set intentions, work with dream journaling, and also trust your intuitive downloads, especially while you're asleep right now. And just know that your power right now does not lie in taking action, but it's lying in resting and reflecting and taking time for spiritual recalibration. Just know that your wealth is your health and in your ability to let go of what no longer serves your soul. So let me know what's going on for you, my dear Sagittarius, and I'm wishing you the best of luck. And Nadia says, hi Nadia, hi Astrid, I understand you're from Belgium. Yes, that's right, me too, Oost-Vlaanderen. I'm from West Vlaanderen. I'm Scorpio rising, 27 degrees. Ooh, Sun in Leo, 13 degrees, and Moon in Gemini. Oh, wow. Thank you for your insights. I wish you a lot of luck. Thank you so much, Nathalie. Ja, we wonen niet ver van elkaar, hè. Gelukkig hebben ze hier geen ondertitels nodig, omdat ik van West-Vlaanderen ben. Dus daarom doen we het in het Engels. Maar thank you so much for joining me, Nadia. And I wish you the best of luck in Oost-Vlaanderen. Okay, then we have Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You are gonna have the full moon in Scorpio lighting up your 11th house of friendships, community, and also your long-term goals, your friendships, your social networks, and also things in regards to the future. So this lunation is very highly sociable, also very future oriented, and with Scorpio all these things get really intensified right now. And it's also going to bring clarity, or like it's going to clarify emotional moments, or like I'm going to start over. Clarifying emotional moments around who belongs in your inner circle, and also who doesn't. Scorpio likes to purge things out. So can be in regards to some seed that was planted on the Scorpio new moon on November the 1st of 2024. Something is reaching a culmination, a completion. Perhaps you have been involved in a joint project. Maybe you've launched a public project. Maybe you've launched something online. The 11th house is also online. Yeah, the full moon is now going to reveal whether all these choices are still aligned with the person you've becoming. Scorpio is a sign of emotional truth, so the lunation is also going to bring for some Capricorns, a farewell and friendships that no longer support your growth. Maybe some of your friends might betray you, and because Capricorn with Scorpio in 11th house, your friendships tend to be more intense than for other signs. So you need to guard yourself more against power games with friends than other signs. So just know that there can also be a sudden deepening of bonds with those who truly get you, with people who go as deep as you want to go. So yeah, there's going to be social realignment. It's about visibility and also how you resonate with the community that you're in right now. There can be a moment of wish fulfillment in that area. You could receive more recognition for a group effort or get closer to manifesting a long-held dream that might have some intense consequences on your life. So the full moon is ruled by Mars and Leo in the 8th house, and also Pluto and Aquarius, which is in your 2nd house. So this is like activating a very powerful axis of shared versus personal resources. So it's going to highlight money, trust, debt, self-worth, and also energetic exchanges. Luckily, the Pluto-Mars opposition is now separating, but it has stirred up this financial and emotional tension for sure, possibly connected to joint finances in marriage, for example, or for you now with this full moon, joint finances with friends, because the full moon is in the 11th. But over the past few weeks, it's been a lot about how you receive, how you give, what's from us together, the things that are from us together, how is it holding me back, how has it been controlling me. So yeah, it can be rather intense. Yeah, so the 8th is also, and Pluto and Scorpio is all about inheritance. It can be about divorce proceedings as well. It can be about investments, and all these things might now be reaching a resolution over the next few weeks. They say if a full moon plays out over 6 months, it is possible that some Capricorn risings are going to get into a divorce over the next few months. So yeah, Pluto in the 2nd can also be about transformation, about your personal value, also your own income, and how you want to be financial independent as well. While Mars in the 8th has pushed you to really assert yourself in these shared agreements or arrangements, and Mars in the 8th can also mean like loss of money due to a partner, and maybe that frustrated you. Something can now get finished in that as well. So maybe you had to let go of an old financial dependency. Maybe you are needing to assert your boundaries and financial or emotional partnerships more. But this lunation is definitely about empowerment through clarity. Then we also have Mercury and Taurus, which is in your 5th house, and it's squaring Pluto, the ruler of the Scorpio full moon. So yeah, this is really suggesting some potentially tense but very cathartic conversations around your creativity, your creative self-expression. It can be about children, can be about romance, and also about financial priorities. Best not to take too big of a gamble with your finances right now. Wait it a little bit. Don't go to the casino. Don't take too much risk right now. Then the good thing as well that the full moon is trying to Saturn in Pisces and also trying the North Node, and they're all in your 3rd house of communication, also the house of siblings. So it's going to bring support through mature dialogue, and also clear boundary setting. So yeah, a good moment to write something very deep, to publish something online. The 11th house is also online, The third house is blogging, writing, newsletters. There's a supportive trine. If you want to communicate something online, make an announcement. In regards to something therapeutic field, healing, occultism, all Scorpio things, that is going to be a huge success for you right now. So yeah. It can also be a good time to declare something important, like publicly or within your friends group or something like that. So yeah, friends who are being consistent and who are very deep grounded and honest are also stepping up to support you right now if something were to happen. So that can also be very, very positive. They can speak and say the right things to you right now, the things you need to calm down the mind as well. That's also something if something more intense pops up. And the full moon in the 11th can also be very emotionally revealing in terms of like loyalty and alignment in your own social role that you're playing in the world. So yeah. Personal fulfillment and legacy might require different allies than you once thought. That can also be a revelation of this full moon. And just know that that's okay. Trust your evolving social instincts and also make space for new friendships and long-term visions that really reflect who you are right now and not who you used to be. Because I'm sure you went through a huge transformation the last couple of years. So yeah, let me know what's going on for you, my dear Capricorn, and I wish you the best of luck. We have Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising. You are going to have this full moon in Scorpio, and it's going to land in your 10th house of career, public image, leadership, reputation, yeah, it's like a major culmination or a breakthrough moment in your professional life. Just know the things you're doing right now are going to be very, very publicly visible. You're going to be widely seen. You're going to draw attention without realizing why. So make good use of it. Yeah, if you have placements as an aqua between 20 and 24 degrees, it's forming a 10 square to your rising sign. So yeah, this is really like increasing the emotional pressure and also forcing these pivotal decisions. Full moons in the 10th often mark these public times of recognition, promotion, can be quitting a job because you want to reclaim your inner Scorpio at work. So yeah, transitions in your role or in responsibilities are possible. Scorpio really, really adds to the emotional depth, and it's asking you, what am I building? Does this still align with my soul? Because the moon also opposes the sun and Uranus, your modern day ruler, and Taurus in your 4th house of home and family. So very important moon for you, my dear Aqua. It squares your rising, and the sun is on Uranus, your 3rd ruler. So yeah, you might feel a little bit pulled between your professional duties and your personal needs. Perhaps there can be some chaos at home. There can be a relocation happening suddenly out of the blue with the Sun and Uranus together. And also there can be some family issues, maybe with the mother. And maybe that's like competing with the pressure to stay visible and competent in your work life, but you need to put your focus at home. So there's like a bit of polarity between that. Just know that you're being called to rise right now, but you also must honor the internal shifts happening behind the scenes too, of course. So the full moon in Scorpio is co-ruled by Mars and Leo in your 7th house of relationships, which you've probably noticed. And also Pluto is in Aquarius in your sign, in your 1st house of self-identity and physical energy. Like, I'm just gonna throw it out here. I've known some Aquariuses like my whole life, and since Pluto shifted into their sign, they're having this massive ego out of nowhere. And I'm like baffled by it, because Aquariuses are normally not like that. So I just want to like put it out here again, and it's of course not all Aquariuses. I have a good friend, a female friend that's an Aquarius, and she didn't change with Pluto in her sign. She's like reclaiming her power in a very, very healthy way. But I had other, especially men, Aquarius men with Pluto in their sign. I'm like, oh my God, there's like a hidden side of you that I've never saw. And now with Pluto in your sign, you're like looking down on me, and I'm like surprised by that. So be careful, because the Mars Pluto position is between your inner power versus people who are not reacting to that well. And some Aquariuses say to me, other people don't like the way I'm expressing myself. And then I'm like, yeah, well, maybe you need to tone it down a little bit and don't go like a Pluto maniac to other people right now, because Mars is in the 7th house and it's going to create a clash and a tug of war. So be sure, if you are an Aquarius, especially an Aquarius sun or rising, with Pluto now in your sign, use it as empowering. And if you're like gonna abuse your power with Pluto in your sign, you're gonna get your ass kicked. So I just like wanted to put that out there. I felt like I needed to say it, but like it's not for everyone. But if you feel triggered, it's probably for you. So very good thing to ask yourself, like, why am I getting power struggles in my key relationships? Really look into the mirror. People are going to challenge your personal autonomy. Maybe you're going to be forced to redefine your role. And really ask yourself, am I showing up authentically, or am I showing up in a bad Pluto way? It's of big, big importance for you. And if you do it in a healthy, authentical way, it's going to make your life so much easier in the next 15 years. So please, please really go inside. And also, I'm not like asking you to compromise too much to keep the peace. I'm not asking that as well. Pluto is now going retrograde on your rising sign, and you're like in the early stages of this powerful identity shift and this big transformation. And you are still learning to embody a deeper, more empowered version of yourself. And this full moon is really testing that by like throwing you into now this high visibility situation, or like a conflict situation where you maybe must speak up and lead with integrity. But at the same time, Mercury in Taurus is in your 4th house, and it's forming a square with Pluto in your sign. This can signal really tense family conversations. It can be financial discussions. It can be about housing. It can be about property. It can be about deep emotional processing. The 4th house is rather the bottom and the core of you and the chart. So just know that the pressure, there can be a lot of pressure to hold it all together, both at home and in the public, and it could be overwhelming. And by that, you could feel like you need to keep control, and you transform into this control maniac, especially now with full moon in Scorpio in the 10th house. Everyone is going to see it. So that's why I'm like warning you and telling you to maybe breathe out, meditate, and don't turn into a control freak during this time. Just know that your resilience is being refined right now. So, and among all this intensity, there is also beautiful support, because the full moon is trining Saturn and the North Node in Pisces in your 2nd house of income, self-worth, and also material stability. So yeah, it's a stabilizing aspect among all the emotional chaos, and it's helping you to really anchor into long-term values, to build more financial security, and also prioritize your personal worth, even if things feel a little bit turbulent professionally or relationally or at home right now. Like all the 4 angular houses are affected, so that can be a bit much. So really invest your time right now in what truly sustains you emotionally and financially. Just know you are evolving emotionally, financially, and there are growing pains in your relationships or at home right now. Pluto and all these aspects are really testing your ability to remain calm. So yeah, mature. It's about maturity as well. And if you do it good right now with the full moon in the 10th house, which is very visible for the outside world, you can really elevate your position and really reinforce your reputation. So yeah, show them that you are this true mature material, mature version of yourself, and you're becoming the good side of Pluto through this transformation of Pluto in your sign. So you are allowed to be ambitious, know that, but not at the expense of your inner peace with the Sun and Uranus in the 4th house. So choose to lead with emotional intelligence, and know that you can navigate the tension and step into this new level of power with a true healthy purpose. So I know that was a lot, my dear Aquarius. I'm just saying that because I love you guys, and let me know what's going on for you, and I wish you the best of luck. And Timothy, what a divine timing as well. Hello, Astrid. Thank you so much. I am Aquarius Sun. Well, that is right on time, Timothy. I'm very happy you're here with us. So then we have, last but not least, my dear sweet Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're gonna have this full moon in Scorpio, and it's gonna happen in your 9th house of beliefs, philosophical beliefs, travel, long distance travel, wisdom, publishing, higher education, also law and legality, and also a very joyous house because it's the traditional Jupiter house. So it's about your belief system. And it's in a fellow trine water sign. So very, very positive for you, my dear Pisces. Can be a very beautiful moment of expanded awareness. It's going to invite you to step back, to gain perspective, and also to see life through this higher philosophical or spiritual lens. It's a powerful moment to zoom out and look at all the Scorpio themes and how they are integrated in your belief system. Scorpio is very intense, so this isn't like no light-hearted wanderlust kind of vibe. It's about deep transformation through learning, faith, and also truth seeking. And especially truth seeking on like a global or mundane level. 9th house is about the future also. It's about global things, about zooming out, about the bigger picture, and you can have like a lot of expanded awareness in that right now. So full moons in the 9th, they bring culmination involving truth seeking. Maybe you're going to finish some course if you have been studying. It can also be about travel plans that are reaching their finality. Maybe you can come back from a journey. Maybe you're finishing making a travel schedule as well. And you're now being asked to really shed and release old belief systems. Maybe you need to let go of a worldview that no longer aligns with your soul's path, because the moon trines your Pisces placements, especially if your sun moon Pisces between the 20th or the 24th degree. It's a very supportive and clarifying energy. 9th house is also the house of the gods, the house of the mentors, gurus, guidance. So you might be receiving signs, synchronicities, and also messages from your intuition or in dreams that really help you make this life-shifting decision. Really trust your intuition right now. It's in a fellow water sign. It's very, very positive for you, Pisces. So both the co-rulers of this full moon are Mars in Leo and Pluto in Aquarius, and they're still in a separating, powerful opposition, but it's like the worst is over right now. And they have been activating your 6th and your 12th house axis. This is spiritual, mental health versus physical health that needs to get in balance. So yeah, it's like indicating that the recent challenges that you had to deal with involved work routines. They also revolved your mental and your physical health. And also can illuminate your hidden stress. Perhaps you've been burned out a little bit. Maybe you had to battle a bit of chaos behind the scenes, but now the full moon is gonna like put it all in perspective because it's aligned. Mercury is in Taurus, it's in your third house of communication, it's forming a square to Pluto, so there can be some mental tension, there can be important decisions, important communications. Maybe if you travel right now, there can be some stress, there can be some change in travel plans, unexpected last minute changes. If you are in legal, if you are in a legal or in a court case, there can be some frustrations about that. And you are being asked to navigate like a shift in mindset. There can be some intense conversations and also new responsibilities that really challenge how you express yourself or how you move through the world, because it's in the night. Your traditional ruler, Jupiter, is in Gemini. It's in your fourth house of home, family, and your emotional roots. And it's going to square the nodes of fate. I'm going to like probably gonna make a whole other video about that. I'm gonna try if I have the time, because it's actually quite important, especially for Pisces, and it's like indicates that where and how you live or who you call your family might also be shifting in surprising ways right now. So maybe some of you are gonna plan a move, also reevaluate your sense of home. Can be making long-term family-related decisions. This is like part of a larger karmic evolution with nodes and Jupiter in square. But among all the movement, the intensity, there's a strong energetic support. The full moon trines Saturn and also the North Node in Pisces in your sign, in your first house. So a very big grounding, emotional influence. It's also growth and self-discipline, and also trusting yourself more, and also quite personal authority that grows or gets stabilized more. So yeah, after Saturn is going to leave your sign on May the 25th, 26th, depending on where you live in the world. And you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that you are more matured in a more emotional way. So yeah, and others may simply shift their worldview, realizing that what you believe is shaping what you become. So yeah, good time now for traveling, relocating, expanding your horizons. But just know that this is not for fun. It's in a deep way. It's about soul level growth and also aligning your outer life with your inner truth. So really embrace change, trust your gut, and let this full moon really guide you towards the next version of your future self, one that is rooted in this courageous belief in more emotional resilience and also more in self-trust. So yeah, let me know what's going on for you, my dear Pisces, and I'm wishing you the best of luck. So with that being said, that was it for today. I love a good old moon in Scorpio. They tend to reveal and purge what's no longer in our favor, what's no longer in our alignment with our soul. So yeah, just let it happen. Don't freak out. Scorpios, they are a bit of a control freak. They want everything to go their way. Well, life is just not like that. So we need to surrender and embrace the purging, and whatever is being shaken up by Uranus right now, whatever is being let go of with the full moon in Scorpio, just know that it's meant to be. Also know that Saturn is leaving Pisces. Oh, Saturn has been in Pisces since the beginning of 2023. I think it was March 2023, and it's now finally moving forward into Aries. So I think my next video will be about Saturn entering Aries, because that will be an important one for sure, especially with Neptune already being in Aries. We're gonna have the famous Saturn-Neptune conjunction soon. So yeah, very, very important time in history. I'm going to highlight what happened back in the day during the Saturn-Neptune conjunctions as well. because it shapes our whole world in a very different way. So hit the bell button below if you want to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're still here. Thank you so much for watching and for being with me here today. And I'm sending lots of love towards you guys. So see you next time. Bye-bye. Take care, Kelly. I'm just like seeing your comment before I switch off.